Ladies and gentlemen, once again it is the Mason and Friends Show, featuring the Black Hand of Mike, a.k.a. the Transporter.
Yeah.
As well as Red Star, a.k.a. Red Mud. Alrighty.
What's happening? Sorry.
As well as...
How's everybody doing today?
El Juperino, a.k.a. that dude called you. Hey. Me, I'm Mahoney, a.k.a. Mason. Welcome to the Mason and Friends Show.
Yeah. What's happening, everybody? And with these powers combined, we have formed Voltron.
Yep.
You ain't been doing the education.
Mike's on it.
You don't have to answer, Slay. Question.
What you got, Mud?
Okay, so I'm scrolling Facebook and I have come across this meme that says, "The what you bring to the table question only applies to facially challenged and big women."
Damn.
Whoa, wait a minute, hold on.
Yeah, bro, it's deep already.
Say that again. Start it off again.
The what you bring to the table question only applies to facially challenged and big women. Ain't no one asking a bad bitch what she brings to the table. They won the genetic lottery. They deserve to be taken care of. Someone responds underneath of it and says, if a man asks you this question, he doesn't think you're beautiful, so he wants to know how you can compensate for that.
Nah, I beg to differ on that.
He says, I asked her what she brought to the table, and she said, you don't see how I look? I said, yes, that's why I asked.
Nah, look. Don't get this twisted, all you pretty girls out there, whatever. A lot of them bitches got issues and some of them are toxic. But you need to be bringing something to the table besides your fucking looks.
Always.
Looks ain't gonna carry you, but so fucking far.
Yeah.
No matter who you are.
You saying nod you?
Nah, yeah, you gotta bring something.
Okay, I'm about to say.
But a bad bitch can get away with a lot more shit.
No, that's true. She's got a longer rope.
She still can't look pretty. She gotta earn her keep too, though.
She's got more rope to work with. Though.
Okay, let me ask you this. Okay, let's put it in perspective for each person individually, right? I'm not saying that this is true, 100% true or 100% false.
Yeah.
But I think y'all are too worried about how people go perceive y'all.
Nah, not at all.
Hold on. So who's the baddest broad in your mind?
Emma Watson.
Okay, for you.
It's going to either be
Jackson.
Janet or Selma Hayek.
And for you?
Ooh, Scarlett Johansson.
Okay.
We've been
You're
doing
not
this a
gonna you're not gonna put up with a broke version of these women more so than anybody else?
Emma Watson with no money is still getting some time from
I'm not worried. Yeah, I wouldn't be.
Okay,
yeah.
so the statement is actually true.
It's accurate.
It's actually true.
Yeah.
And
I mean, to a degree, just like
To a high degree,
Emma
though.
Watson can be more of a cunt to me than just some bitch at the bar.
But even still,
You know what I mean? Before I'm gonna be like, look at you fucking bitch, I'm
it's gonna
leaving.
take a lot longer for you to let go.
Exactly. She's got her hooks in deeper just based on the way she looks.
And we suck as men.
Pretty
Right?
much. I don't disagree with that. I think that
Okay.
we're absolutely subject to that sort of thing. Like if you're dating a 5 and a 10 comes at you, you're going to have a hard time turning her down. But if you're dating a 9 and an 8 comes at you, or a 6 or a 4, and you're kind of into not fucking
How is she a
around.
10 though? She just a 10 because she looks.
Only
She's
off
a,
of
No.
All
She's
based on looks.
no, but
Absolutely.
she's a 10 to you.
God damn.
So she
Right,
is your own personal
If you're
Scarlett.
dating broke-ass Scarlett Johansson and rich Scarlett Johansson, actual Scarlett Johansson is like, let's go out, you're going to go with her, in all likelihood.
If rich or broke one comes up, I don't
If
know.
you're with broke one.
If you're with the broke one and the rich one comes up to you, you're leaving with her.
Which one seems cooler?
No, we're
No,
talking.
this is just off the looks.
But I don't. Well, I'm
Okay,
not going off of looks.
no. Okay,
We have to go off
everything
looks?
else is equal.
Bullshit.
Everything else is equal.
You're leaving with the rich one.
You're going to leave with the rich one because she brings more to the table.
But everything's equal. It's just she looks a little better.
If they're equal, like
I love it, Mike. You're so right. She brings more to the table. If everything is
Yeah,
equal, when
everything's
she's
equal.
a 10 and the other one's a 5, you're going with the 10.
Okay, so now, what is the number? What is the magic number?
That's
okay,
different for everybody.
so you're
money wise,
That's
No,
different for everybody.
or
no.
scale.
Scale
We're
wise,
talking
you're
scale?
with. Do you leave it a 7.5 for Scarlett Johansson?
Wait,
A bitchy Scarlett Johansson.
So
Do
if
you
he's with-
leave a 7.5 for for a bitchy broke Scarlett Johansson.
Like a bitch that's just gonna run you through
No,
it.
I'm not leaving anybody for no bitchy broke bitch.
Scarlett Johansson?
Any bitchy. I can't deal with no bitchy bitches. I can't deal with them. Like, fuck, bitchy bitches, them dumbass little 12-year-old bar bitches. Oh my God,
look.
I cannot.
That's because you've had so many dumbass 12-year-old bar bitches.
I cannot deal with it. I just leave. I just leave the bar. I'm like, I can't deal with this shit no more.
I've had a shorty that was just banging, but she just was
annoying.
not up to par.
I'm like,
yes.
I can't. This
She
is
wasn't
annoying
up
to
to
fuck
par.
at me. I'm like, I
couldn't
can't
do
fuck
it.
with y'all.
So how important is sex in a relationship then?
I think it's pretty important.
Oh, it's that, yeah.
If I'm having bad orgasms, like I don't want to be in that. If like I'm coming hard, then I'm a whole lot more likely to stick around. It's like a 5 that makes you come hard is gonna be able to keep you more than a 10 that doesn't.
It all depends on how much the visual.
Well, it depends on how much
you come hard. Though.
Well, it depends on how much you want to maybe be perceived as having a hottie with you.
No, for yourself.
That's
though.
right. But there's certain
like,
elements
for me,
of that.
Like, who's the baddest joint out there? For me.
Yeah, who's your girl, man? We know everybody else's. Like, we know each other's.
Yeah.
Like, if you asked Mike who I would go out with if I would, like, stop the show for, if Emma Watson was like, we're going to move to England, I'd be like, okay. I guess we're simulcasting the podcast over the internet.
I don't know what she looks like now. But Garcelle Beauvoir, whatever, the chick off the Jamie Foxx show.
Oh, that played Gabby?
No, Fancy.
Fancy was, she still looked bad. I saw her the other day.
I'm just saying.
She still looked bad.
That 10, to me.
Okay.
Give me her name again.
Garcelle Beauvoir. Just type in Fancy on Jamie Foxx.
Yeah, Jamie Foxx show.
No, I got GARCE and Garcelle Beauvoir, Haitian American actress, TV personality, NYPD Blue, Jamie Foxx show.
Out of this world beautiful. Like, especially like at that time.
Oh, yeah. I can dig it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, bruh, just looking at her while I'm nutting is going to make me come hard.
Well, there's absolutely something to
But
that.
hold on, if she wasn't worth a fuck though, like if she didn't if she wasn't able to fucking
If she didn't do anything else worth the shit other than look good.
you know what I mean?
Right.
Like she can't cook, she don't
Eventually,
What's the matter with you,
she
Jude?
don't have no
deal with
fucking
that.
job.
Eventually-
she's not helping you pay any bills with shit.
listen,
I can't deal with that. She got to go.
Eventually, those things are going to override her beauty. Eventually.
Yeah, I'd say about 3 months in.
laziness. Yeah, I ain't putting up with laziness, but about maybe
Day period.
Wait a
90
second.
day
See,
period.
Well, like I was saying,
I feel like y'all are moving the goalpost. I feel like you're moving the goalpost.
the Jew's constantly moving every goalpost there ever
I'm
was.
just saying.
I'm not saying that
I'm not
she's
dealing
just
with no
fucking
lazy
Satan and-
cruddy bitch. She can be fucking goddamn. I don't give a fuck.
I'm not saying that she's
she
Satan
have a
and-
gold ass pussy,
Lazy
but she gonna
Scarlett
do
Johansson.
dishes. You know, she gonna do laundry. You know what I mean?
You don't do dishes, dog.
Well,
You don't hold that against her. What's wrong with you?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't do it.
Hold
So we
on,
gotta
though.
at least be on my one day a month
You know
basis.
what? This is how I know what I'm saying is true. Because we have to turn this woman into Satan to get her to leave her.
No, dude. I agreed in the beginning.
You know what I'm saying?
I agreed in the
Like, with
beginning of
these
the
two, though,
conversation.
they're
The Jew is a constantly goalpost moving motherfucker.
Oh my God! He
Constant.
put the goalpost in the stands, and now my extra point is 90 yards away.
Exactly. You're not going to make it.
Like,
You can't make
you know
it.
what I mean? We're talking about.
Not like, but
He also
see,
can't follow theoretical conversations.
Why does she have to turn? Why do we have to turn her into the scourge of the earth in order for her to leave?
Because she's beautiful.
You see what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
Because
Which
she's
proves the
stunningly
point.
attractive.
She doesn't. I'm not saying she has to be extremely lazy.
That's why Johnny Depp lost a finger, dog. Because
And he got
Amber
his
Heard
bed
is just
shit.
beautiful.
And he got his bed shit on.
Yeah,
dog.
he got his bed Amber Heard it on.
damn near pink eyed. But like my experiences that I've had, I've had some banging shorties that just weren't worth a fuck, and I'm like, I know that headache, and I don't want that headache. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, yes, you are a fine piece of eye candy, but you got some problems that I can't fuck with.
Okay, so check this part of it out though. So say you're with a woman that you really, really like, right? I'm not saying you're all in love with her.
Yeah.
Are you gonna slide off and knock that 10 off every once in a while?
You mean cheat on her?
See, I'm one of them loyal to the fault guys, man. I don't slide out. I did that one time to a shorty, and I ain't never done to one since.
Because it hurts you to do it.
That and it hurt her.
When it's
Right.
like committed and like you,
No, you really
there,
like her. You really like her, you dig her.
Then nah.
But you really like her, but maybe you're not really established though. Maybe sometimes you end up in those relationships. It's like, are we in a relationship or are we not? Like,
that's a situation. If we just dating, we ain't fucking put no titles on nothing. Then yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do my thing. I'm gonna slide.
Okay, so the desire to slide is still there. See, that's why I asked that trick question. The desire to slide is still there. You don't like a title doesn't determine your relationship.
But
the commitment
like the desire,
is to it.
The desire to have sex with attractive women is always there. So like whether you're in a relationship or not.
Why does she have to say? Why do we have to have a neon light that says we are in a relationship? If you ain't fucking with nobody else and she ain't fucking with nobody else, you are in a relationship, whether there's this big title there or not.
Yeah, I'm saying, how committed are you in a relationship? Like,
right,
if you just dating,
it just depends on how public you want to make things.
So what determines the title?
The individuals in the relationship.
Yeah, the commitment about the two
They're the
people.
ones that determine the title. Is this a boyfriend, girlfriend? Are we husband and wife? Are
They
we just
slid out
fucking?
on me on that one, Jew. You heard them slide around that one, right?
Yeah.
Y'all slid out on me on that
But
one.
no, like if me and the
Every
shorty are just
situation
dating,
is different.
like if me and the shorty we just dating, I'm like, all right, I know you seeing other people, I'm seeing other people, cool.
No, but if y'all aren't seeing if y'all aren't seeing other people, but y'all haven't really had the conversation, is that a relationship to you?
You gotta until you have the conversation.
I mean,
you gotta have the conversation.
are you,
So why
are you
do you have
hanging
to
out
have
with
the
this chick
conversation
like
then?
every day? I think if you're hanging out with a chick like every day,
The relationship speaks for itself,
after
right?
like 2 weeks, I think y'all really you almost in a relationship. Not legitly
And
because it's
nobody
been
is-
established.
Right.
But you're pretty goddamn close.
So in that
Yeah, you're
2 week
pretty
window, are you sliding off until y'all have that talk?
Yes.
If somebody else is doing
Okay.
it, hell, the
So
Jew's
you might
sticking
as
it
well
wherever he
slide
can
off
get it,
after
dog.
the talk then.
You fucking do whatever
You know
he
what I'm saying,
can
Drew? You feel me though? Like if you're gonna slide off during that 2 weeks and the vibes are good, only thing is y'all haven't put on a piece of paper. Oh, she hasn't checked yes in the box when you're in second grade. Will you be my girl? Come on, man.
That like that 2 week
I'm
period.
just trying to get people to be real with themselves.
What I'm saying,
There's
that's
more
it.
space
But
between you
this
and
is
your
what I'm
mindset.
saying though. Like when you are in that connected joint, like say you in that 2 weeks, y'all really like. I guess in your mind, it depends on where you at with it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It depends on the individuals that are in the
If
relationship.
I'm not there within that 2 week period, let's say I'm not there with it, then yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and try this piece out over here because I'm still venturing out. I'm trying to see. I'm testing the waters.
You still
right now.
consider yourself single primarily at that point.
No,
Yeah.
only because. So what?
It's
so
like
the words
Diddy.
change it. The words really change it.
If you make the commitment to someone,
Yeah, if you make the commitment to somebody,
The words. How does the words change it?
it depends. Like
Because
if I
it's-
say to you, I'm not going to fuck nobody else, then
What
yeah.
if I don't? Now, see, what I'm saying is, if I don't
the fact that
say,
you respecting your word, your own word.
whether you say the words or not, is the point that I'm making. So why is that 2 week window? Why are you allowed? Why are you in your head? Why can you justify it in that 2 week window? Because
That's just for me. It may
That
be
thought-
different for everybody else. I mean, they may not have to be fucking around for it. May be just 3 days that they fucking around this chick. They might be with
It doesn't, the time limit doesn't matter. The time limit doesn't matter because that means, because to me, when you say that, when you say if we're not etched in stone, it means you can really, really like this broad and feel like she's the one, but y'all haven't had the conversation, so it's free game for you to go fuck somebody else. That's technically what you're saying. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Until y'all have checked that box, but your actions are what check the box, not the fucking conversation. If she comes
but your
over.
conversation is what dictates you to commit to those actions.
No,
If-
because words, you can say anything with words, bro.
Yeah, sure you
Your
can.
actions
Yeah,
dictate
but-
everything.
No, your actions show what you really are made of.
The words
Like
and
if
the
you say
actions
you-
got to go together.
If you say you're going to do something but you don't do that, then you're clearly not someone to be trusted.
Right, but if you're doing something and you don't say anything about it, but you are locking in with this woman, I'm asking why is it okay to slide off until y'all talk? If both of y'all haven't had the conversation, but you could just feel the vibe and you know that neither one of y'all are doing something,
Because
and
that's
then
the-
you see Scarlett Johansson.
Because that's the most common social contract of the world these days, is that until we have said to each other, this is what we're doing, we're going steady, we're getting married, we're doing whatever, we're committed, you know what I mean, to each other and nobody else, then you can't expect the person that you're with to uphold that
Right.
until you have actually looked them in the eye and said, this is what I want, is it what you want? No, it's not? Okay, well then we have to deal with that.
Okay,
You know what I'm saying?
That statement is also known as there's always gonna be a bitch out there that I'm willing to slide off on you
but
for.
that's the elephant in the room until you actually discuss that situation. Because if you just hang out with a chick on occasion and y'all get it on and whatever, maybe you meet at the bar, you have a drink, you go get it on, and you do that once or twice a year, 3 or 4 times a year, 6, 7 times a year.
That's not the scenario.
That's
no
not
biggie. The scenario that's
but if you're hanging out, with someone on a regular basis,
he created a scenario. He said if you meet a chick and y'all been talking and y'all 2 weeks in and she comes home from work to you every single day, y'all talk, y'all check in with each other, but y'all haven't made a commitment. That is the commitment. So if that 2-week window in your brain as a man says I can go fuck somebody else because we haven't checked, like, that's not a real commitment is what I'm saying. And there's always going to be somebody that's going to tickle your fancy, whether you go and do it or not. That's not a commitment. If you're waiting for something to be written, that doesn't make it a commitment.
I'm not saying it is a commitment until you tell someone that you're committed to them.
But why can't you just tell them through your actions? Like, a lot of women just like to go with the flow. A lot of women don't even like to have that conversation. They feel somebody, they vibe.
They're cowards. They don't want to deal with it. They don't want to deal with the real conversation.
Well, they also think the title changes shit or changes the way the relationship is.
Yeah, it takes away from. No,
how does it not?
Because it takes away from the natural flow and the natural progression. It's not even that they're cowards. They want things to flow and vibe in a way where it's organic.
But what you're talking about is like, I'm just going to show up at McDonald's and start cooking fries. You know what I'm saying?
That's not what I'm talking about.
You can't just be like, I work here now. You know what I mean? Like,
that's a terrible analogy because you're talking about a place that you have to apply for an application.
That's what a relationship is. That's what a relationship is. You have to apply with the individual to have a relationship with them.
They don't work because they're being viewed as contracts.
Relationships are basically contracts. They are business
when you get
decisions.
divorced,
marriage is the biggest
someone
contract
forces you to have money.
Marriage is a business decision.
Well, fucking dating is just the same. There ain't no difference.
A relationship is a application for a marriage.
There is difference between relationships and marriage, but not really much. If you're in a real, true relationship, you know what I mean? Like, y'all, unless...
Yeah, think about what you're saying.
Unless
it's a huge fucking difference.
I mean, I know.
I've been married.
I'm not saying there isn't a difference.
But I'm saying...
So it's a huge difference.
Not saying there isn't a difference. I'm simply saying that a committed relationship in one form or another is something that has to be discussed between the individuals that are involved. You can't just say, all right, we're in this because we've been hanging out.
Yes, I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
That's what you're implying.
No, I'm not.
That is what you're implying.
No. What I'm saying is, why is it okay to go fuck this other broad in that window where that quote unquote, that's what I'm saying.
That depends for the individual whether or not it is or isn't for an individual.
But
y'all both say that it's okay to do it.
I'm saying this because I've been on this. I've been in that scenario.
I'm saying it's okay because you haven't committed to not do that. And until you commit to someone that you're not going to do that, it's okay to do whatever you want because you haven't committed to do anything.
And I'm saying you have to commit to yourself that you're not going to do that before you even think about committing to someone else.
Well, I don't disagree with that.
Yeah.
So therefore, if that means that you're not committed to yourself, whether you say it or not.
What is that? How are you getting there? I'm always committed to myself.
Because you're looking for a loophole. You're looking for a loophole to say it's okay to go.
You're asking me a question.
That is the definition of a loophole.
What we're saying is that
and Old Spice is getting pissed.
I can't deal with the level of conversation right now.
What it is like, okay, so you're in this 2-week window, right? Let's say we're going back.
Or it could be 3 months. It could be whatever.
Well, that's the thing.
This is all theoretical, right? So, like, how are we supposed to have any of this, like,
because it's relative to what a certain period of time
it's all
to the
be
person.
Some people are into open relationships. They'll be married and go fuck other people. That's something that they're into.
I know a lot of people
that
that
doesn't
are like
get there.
that.
But it doesn't get there without a conversation. Just like
I'm not going to introduce you.
I'm not going to introduce you to someone who's my girlfriend unless I've had a conversation with her that she is or is not my girlfriend. You know what I mean? Like, everything that you're talking about is like you're acting like the actions are going to establish this thing that you feel so very clearly, and I don't agree with that. That, like, your actions do make statements, but they do not bind, like, contracts or relationships or feelings or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, that takes conversation and handshakes and agreements and such.
I'm gonna go back to something you said, Mud, earlier about how some women don't like having the conversation, and I think part of that is because if they don't have the conversation, they can do they slide out too. You see what I mean?
Absolutely, but that's how every individual is.
That wasn't
their
the
own
scenario.
space.
That wasn't the
No,
scenario.
I'm just saying, I'm just throwing it out there. That's not the scenario that was created.
That's the same situation. It's going to be for both, as man as it is for female in a relationship.
Right.
Or man and man and female and female, either way in a relationship.
Two people meet. Let me just simplify it, since the level isn't right? So, two people meet. They vibe. They're kicking it on their own. All the little inbox responses to other people just dwindle away.
Yeah.
It's been about a month and a half. They're spending a lot more time together. The vibe is there. They haven't had the conversation.
Okay.
3 months ago, you reached out to this one joint you wanted to smash so bad, and then she reaches out to you. Y'all are saying that it is okay to break that bond that y'all have already created because y'all haven't created a verbal bond. I think that's retarded. That's what I'm saying.
That scenario
retarded.
because
That's retarded.
I'm looking at more timeline.
And you're using that as an excuse. Fuck the timeline.
Okay.
The vibe. You can vibe with someone. You can
I
meet
could
someone.
give a fuck about the timeline if I'm not in a committed relationship that I've verbally agreed to be with. Then
Okay. So
then
that's
I don't
there's your
necessarily
loophole.
I don't necessarily feel
vibe,
bad.
you still can't really trust the vibe because
Why can't you trust the vibe?
Because the vibe will be there.
This man has been through some vibes.
That motherfucker will be
These bitches give him
vibing
the
on
look.
her own little level, dual vibing, I guess,
Yes,
bro.
but people lie with their words all the fucking time. Their actions never lie.
And see, okay.
Yeah, but some people can be two people because and still represent different actions.
That's not the scenario, though.
But I mean, I've seen all the scenarios.
See,
So just because, so you feel like a woman. So you feel like just because y'all sit down and have the conversation that we are in a committed relationship, that somebody's less likely to cheat.
If I've been,
That's crazy, man.
like if I'm sitting there chilling with a chick and I'm really vibing, I'm not gonna slide out. Whether it's a fucking day, a month, a year,
and whether you've had the conversation or not.
Whether or not, yeah, I'm messing with a chick.
So you and I are on the same page.
I'm not
arguing with you.
But
yeah, I see
the
what you're
disagreement
saying.
is with them. And the fact that if they're saying that conversation is very, I'm not saying that the conversation isn't important.
Yeah.
But that conversation shouldn't be a determining factor whether you go fuck somebody that you really want to fuck. It shouldn't be a determining factor.
It should just be the title that stops you or keeps you or starts you.
Well, that's all based on one's own individual honor in a situation. Individuals make their own decisions. I don't disagree with you.
Yes.
But individuals make their own decisions. So, some hoes are going to be like, oh, I fucked him because we never decided that we were together. You know what I mean? And that, based on your honor, may or may not be something you're willing to put up with because you did or did not have that conversation.
And that's why you got to go. That's why she has to go.
Quite probably.
Oh, absolutely.
But if it's Emma Watson, I might put up with it. If she's like,
back to putting up with these cruddy bitches, man.
Go ahead. What was he about to say?
What's your question? It's
too good at his cruddy bitch conversation. Tell me about these cruddy bitches, Jude.
I'm trying to tell you, if Scarlett Johansson, if I were to holler at Scarlett and just let's say I run up at her at the bar or whatever, and I come back and I'm kicking with her all weekend, and she ain't doing nothing. She ain't cleaning up nothing.
But she's just laying there naked.
She's just laying there looking beautiful.
You gonna put up with that shit for a while,
That's gonna break my motherfucking heart after them 3 days.
She let you throw it in
You want her doing your dishes after 3 fucking days?
If she's just gonna sit there and be worthless, I can't deal with it. I can't deal with that.
She have to be, but that was my point though. Why does she have to be worthless in order for you to do that?
She just gotta put something to the table. They gotta do something. I just can't have.
That's what Judy. You'll be at the bar with Scarlett Johansson. You know how to do dishes?
Not doing nothing.
Man, she's something, sweetie. You know how to cook?
I can't do it. I can't deal with it. Like you see all them fucking fancy ass bitches now that live around there up in like around here and in Ashburn that stay at home and got like a fucking maid and like and a chef
they
and
go
like
to
a
the
pool
gym,
boy.
they running,
and
they
like,
doing
bitch, you
all
ain't
that
doing shit. You better bring something to the fucking table. I don't give a fuck if you just sucking my dick immediately like what she was doing to Johnny Depp.
That's
enough.
That's enough.
All you gotta do is stay pretty. Go to the gym, stay looking good. Give me some kids later on.
Keep it tight. Make me come hard when I come home from work. That's what some dudes want.
Dinner every now and then. You know what I mean? We're gonna swap off on dinner. I need something. I need
You need
something.
teamwork.
I need something. Yeah. I mean, I'm not right now. I mean,
I think so. Now I think we're getting into
teamwork ain't just her
finances,
looking
though, right?
sexy and laying there.
I mean, we're moving all over the place.
I'm total pack.
We're dealing with real relationship conversation.
But we've moved into finance now, though, because when you
it all
said
comes back to that.
This ain't got nothing to do with it. This is effort.
are cool with that. Usually it's well-off
dudes.
men that don't need women to bring shit
Like
to
Aunt
the
Viv
table.
didn't need to do nothing but suck dick and ride dick nice.
I'm talking
you know what I'm
about-
saying?
yeah, I'm on
Aunt
effort.
Viv
That's what
looked
I'm at.
good. At least the first Aunt Viv. Second Aunt Viv, she need to bring something to the table. Light skin Aunt Viv need to bring something to the table, but dark skin Aunt Viv didn't need nothing. You know what I'm saying? That's fucking facts.
Like for real, she won the blow a bubble with the now later lottery.
Yeah.
She won, right?
I'm pretty sure that's disgusting, but yeah, that's fine.
My man, bud.
You know what I mean? She won.
Yeah.
You're the best at that.
Yeah.
I don't need much from you.
Right.
I got everything else.
But
But
this all goes back to what I was saying about individuals. Certain individuals are willing to do this, and certain individuals are willing to do that. Some people are in relationships where they go to sex parties and everybody's boning everybody, and other people are in relationships where they didn't have sex before they got married, and they ain't gonna have sex with anybody other than the person that they're married to. Just Prince all day, baby. Whole episode full of Prince, man.
I just got caught the last two. I mean,
His birthday was on the 7th.
Yeah,
We
it
gotta
was.
do something to say what's up to my man Prince, the Purple King, man. What's happening?
appreciate you, Prince.
But
R.I.P. Much love.
Yeah, he was the GOAT, man, for real.
No doubt. He definitely beat Michael by a long way.
Nah, I can't say he beat him
I don't
by
think
a
he
long
beat him
way.
by a long way. I
he
think
beat
they
Say
were.
what you want. Michael was.
He beat
Michael,
him.
Michael
It's two
was
different
like-
realms. It's two different
Man, it's
realms.
Two different things when you talk about Prince and Michael Jackson.
Michael laid it down.
There was
too,
a
man.
time where they were like a hot topic in conversation.
Because that's
But,
like
but it's like LeBron and Jordan.
No, it's not though, because they were playing at the same time. They're playing at the same time.
Yeah, okay, I'll give you that aspect, but in the aspect of what they brought to it, they're like LeBron and Jordan.
Godzilla and King Kong.
To a degree. I'll give you
Like-
that. Because they're definitely way different flavors.
Talking
what
tomato,
they're doing.
tomato, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Prince
No.
played
I'm talking
all
oranges and apples.
27
Oranges and apples.
instruments.
Shit, damn.
Prince is
I
like
wouldn't really know what that
oranges
actually
and
means.
Michael is like apples. Like they're not the same thing.
They're not
But
the
they're
same, but they're
equally
equal.
good.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
Because, Prince played all 27 instruments on his first album, right? His debut album. Couldn't get a band together, said, I'll just play them all
And he just handled it
myself.
himself. Prince is a bad motherfucker.
Prince was very.
But Michael Jackson could record. Michael Jackson
He also
had,
couldn't play the instruments. He could stand in front of an instrumental guy and say, I want you to do da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Like he could lay it out for somebody, but he couldn't play the instrument.
Right, but Michael Jackson had perfect pitch.
He was.
No need for voice correction. Michael Jackson could record and send producers records all a cappella, and they build music around it.
Yeah.
That is phenomenal. As a person who raps, as a person who sings and tries, dude.
Yeah, but Prince could do all that by himself.
But the level that them two
Prince
were
could do
on,
everything by himself.
they were just the kings of their realms they were in.
But then you have to throw in the entertainment factor.
Both of them are very great entertainers.
Yeah,
But Michael had that production.
Man, bro, Michael Jackson could come on stage and go like this, and people faint.
Yeah.
Prince could
That's
come on
a
stage and
different
play for
fuck out.
5 fucking hours.
That's a different level.
Prince could play
of-
for 5 fucking hours. I
still
saw
a-
Prince play for 5 hours.
still a
Michael
different level of
Jackson ain't never
stardom.
played for
It
5
is.
hours. And
Still
he
a
doesn't know how to
different
play.
level of stardom.
But they're two different things, man. They're different
They're
realms.
different.
I guarantee you go to a jungle to some fucking indigenous tribe, they won't have Prince posters. They'll have Michael Jackson posters before they'll have a Prince poster.
Yeah, because Michael.
I would love it if we could make somehow figure out the truth
Man, we
of
need to
that.
get that dude.
I
We need to get that
I'd
boy
have
from
to
Club
agree with you on that one.
If we could send
because-
cameras to African
Yeah, but
tribes
yeah,
and
because
Asian
Michael-
tribes.
The Chinese army.
Publicized.
Yes.
The Chinese army was Michael Jackson's security when he goes to China.
Yeah, they all.
That's
Michael
a different level of
had a
fame,
control.
bro.
That's just being caught up with the Chinese Communist Party.
Now Michael had that. Michael could land
He
wherever, and
landed that deal
motherfuckers
when he was
knew.
healing the world back then. Whenever he dropped that jump.
Yeah.
He landed that jump.
Was he healing the world or was he
Yeah,
chasing
that's what
little
he-
kids?
he
I don't know.
is.
Nah, he was in the world.
And that's what happened.
See, Michael loses because nobody was ever worried about Prince banging their kids. They were worried about Prince banging their wife.
They was worried about Prince fucking their wife and her husband.
Hold on,
Prince,
though.
Prince.
Hold on,
That
though.
motherfucker was
Hold on,
fucking.
though. Hold on. You do realize that Michael Jackson was walking away with ownership of Sony, though. because of his contract and having masters to all of his shit, and then all of a sudden all this shit comes out about him.
I'm not saying that it couldn't be something that was put together.
Okay, but you can say with certainty, but you was worried about Prince fucking your wife and not your little kids. You say that with certainty, though.
Oh, no.
That's what
I
they
say,
did to him.
I say that is what is. That's
what they made up.
You can say that, but we can't prove or disprove that because we're not there. We don't have the evidence. We don't have any reason to be able to prove or disprove that.
I know somebody who knew Michael Jackson, who was a very, very close friend of his. As a matter of fact, when I went to go record my album in New Jersey, I sat and listened to master recordings of Michael Jackson. The dude, Magic Reed, was a great friend of his. He been told me that shit. It was all smear campaign because Michael Jackson was walking away with Sony.
Well, he had that ownership because see that was the thing.
That was a part of the deal that he signed way back in the day, and they didn't think that he would be able to achieve that level of greatness and make them that much fucking money. And he was walking away with it, and then all of a sudden, all these allegations come out.
But here's the difference between Michael and Prince now, because Prince knew. And that's how come Prince had his masters.
That's why he changed
Prince
his name.
owned his shit because
he had to fight for it. That's why he had slaves drawn on his face.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
He played his cards better though.
And then no, he didn't, because then he all of a sudden he starts getting sick.
No, he died from fentanyl because there was fentanyl in his pills and shit. Because he had pain pills, he wouldn't do anything reasonable.
Which one is that one? Michael or Prince?
They both died of fentanyl, quite frankly. I mean,
yeah, that was.
They were both essentially killed.
But he was sick though.
Well, Prince had pain issues. Michael was way more out of whack than Prince. Prince had pain issues from wearing high heels and jumping off the 10-foot
issues with all the
stacks.
plastic he had done too. I think Michael might have had some issues because all that
Yeah,
plastic.
Michael had plastic issues. Prince just had wear and tear on the body.
How do we know plastic issues?
No. How do we know that? How do we know that any of that's real? Like.
They're just throwing assumptions out there.
We can look at pictures of Michael and know that he was plastic.
It's just like saying that Ric Flair was fucking
Did you see any pictures of Michael fucking little kids and shit?
No.
Did you see any pictures of him like laying down with little kids and shit like that?
I heard him talk about having sleepovers with little kids.
Right, but
yeah, but
hold on. Did you hear
anybody else? I heard him talk about that.
But did you hear what Macaulay Culkin said? He said, "You guys got to think. His bedroom is as big as someone's house." They weren't. Macaulay Culkin said they weren't even sleeping in the same bed.
You got kids? You gonna let him go sleep over with Michael Jackson?
I'm not letting anybody, Michael Jackson or anybody, but that's besides the point. That's completely besides the point.
It doesn't sound like you trust anybody, let alone Michael Jackson with your kids.
I don't trust it. Well, why does it have to be?
You're not gonna let Michael Jackson. If you didn't before,
why does it have to be
Michael Jackson was fake fucking kids?
Well, like I wouldn't want to let.
If you had a kid,
if I had kids, I wouldn't want to let them stay over the night at anybody's house unless it was like I don't know. I guess some kid they were friends with that they had been really good friends with.
But like a fake school kid sleepover. You're not gonna let your kid do that? Everyone's got a fake friend at school that's having a sleepover, actual sleepover.
I don't know. Like,
I mean, growing up,
I'm not gonna like let my kid just go off
with anybody
without like actually really vetting where they're going.
Yeah, their parents and all.
You know what I'm saying?
I gotta meet the parents. I
gotta sit down. If you're staying with,
I don't even care if I meet the parents.
If you're staying with this little bastard, exactly. I need to meet these little bastards' parents before you're gonna go hang out with these little bastards. You know what I mean?
I need to know these people.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
But that's saying. So you met Michael Jackson. He seems like he's legit. Then you let your kid go over there. But no, you don't know that he's raping kids yet or fucking with kids yet.
That Prince never had kids over to sleep over at his house. Like Prince wins in my book. That's a simple fact. It doesn't matter. Prince had Prince's place. Prince's place is dope.
But it wasn't set up for kids. This Michael shit was set up for kids.
Right, which is really fucking creepy.
Well, I mean, like,
how is that not creepy?
Trying to heal the world, man. I mean, what the fuck?
I'm not defending the man. I'm not saying
you.
No, I'm not. No, what I'm saying is I'm playing devil's advocate because if you can throw information out there to say, if you say you were worried about Prince fucking your wife and not your kids, that's putting out like saying like you feel, and that's perfectly fine if you feel that way.
But I'm saying those are more tangible things to be concerned about between the two of them. Nobody was worried that Michael Jackson was going to bang their wife. Nobody was worried that Michael Jackson was banging Brooke Shields when they went to the fucking Oscars together.
But he was banging her.
He could have been. He might have been.
He was banging her.
I don't believe that.
He was banging Lisa Marie Presley too.
Yeah.
You think because they kissed on MTV that he was actually hitting that shit?
What I'm saying is he was a fucking man who loved women.
He was trying to throw it up in there. He might not.
His life was just private.
He might not have.
I've heard more tangible evidence that he was a closeted gay man than he was a heterosexual male.
It's not true.
Nah, I've heard that he was all about women because fucking Diana Ross, all them we used to talk about him.
It's not true. It's just simply like, but see, where you like the sources where you like these are they're smearing people's existence.
Well, the guy that I heard talking about that was on Stern. He had written a book, and he started his book to prove that Michael Jackson was raping little kids. And by the time he finished his research, he decided that Michael Jackson was a closeted gay man.
Okay,
they
so
talked
he's
about
not
it for
raping
about,
little kids, so now he's a
They talked about it for
homosexual.
about 2 hours, and that sounded more feasible to me than anything else that I've heard about.
I still can't
And,
see that.
I'm not sitting here saying he did anything or didn't. I'm simply saying, like,
So what
the
makes you
things that
trust
you're,
that
the things
guy's
that you're
opinion
worried
so much
about.
more? So
Well, because I listened to him talk, and he made reasonable sense, and he sounded like he really did want to prove that he was a child rapist. You know what I mean? Like, that was his
Okay.
intent when he started to write the book.
and let's go back
by
to
the
how
time
many
he
of
was-
those kids, when they got older, came back and actually came out and said that Mike never did
Yeah,
anything like that.
yeah.
It was a money grab.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go there too.
I'm not denying that sounds
Yeah.
completely feasible to me. I'm simply saying
that's
that
a fact. That's not feasible. That's something that
Yeah, the
actually
kid
happened.
did.
I know not of these facts that you
Yeah,
speak.
When the
the-
kids,
I have
the
not
kids,
witnessed
like,
that
The
fact.
kids that they had the lawsuits against Mike, when they actually got
When they got older, they
when-
said it never
when Mike
happened.
when he died, that's when all these people were like, yo, that shit never happened. He never fucked with us. He never touched us. It
That
was
is
just
a
about
fact.
getting money.
And he just-
they all said this shit.
And they played off of the fact that first of all, Michael Jackson never had a childhood. Since the age
Nah.
of 6, 7 years old, he was forced to be an entertainer.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
By his so when he built the Never Never Land,
Look, the
not
real
only
problem
just
is
for the
Joe
kids,
Jackson.
for
He
built
himself.
it for
It's
himself.
not even about it's not about
But
the
see,
problem.
but that's just-
he never had a childhood. So why wouldn't I build a fucking
Like,
amusement park in a zoo
that's
if
the
I'm
same
damn
shit
near a
with,
billionaire? Bro,
with-
and I never had a childhood?
That's the same shit with Janet. Janet says that in her bio. She's like, look, all she wanted was just to be a normal fucking teenager,
Yeah,
just to be a
man.
normal kid. But she couldn't because of Joe. Joe was like, look,
Like he was fucking them kids up if they fuck up a dance step, bro.
I understand that. But,
Okay.
like,
So how
none of that, like, excuses anything.
none of that excuses. What is the anything though?
But none of it is anything that we can prove is factual or not factual. We're talking completely in the realm of hypothetical.
We are, but you're expressing it like it's real, and that's what
so
the
are you.
tabloids.
So
No,
are you.
I'm not.
That's what you're saying. These are facts.
No.
That like
No,
these,
the facts are the
that
kids
everything's a
that
fact.
came out.
When the kids grew up, they
yeah,
that is a fact.
That is a fact.
They came out and said
He never
that
fucked
never
with us.
happened.
That never
he
happened.
never touched us. He never did anything.
Yeah,
guys.
that's all
Well, I
facts.
just let us be
I
kids.
certainly hope that that's what happened. I don't know what happened.
But they smeared them. The kids act that was a whole smear.
The smear worked.
Yeah, it
Exactly.
did. That's the whole
Exactly.
thing.
Yeah.
Because
But none of us can prove it true or not true.
right. No, you're.
We
okay,
can just go
bro,
with what we're
but
hearing
How you
and try to make
expressed it
try to
was,
make
this, the bold statement is you worried about Prince fucking your wife and not your kids.
exactly.
Okay, but then I tell you, hey, those kids actually came out and they admitted that all of that shit was like a money grab.
You were still not. You were still worried about
Well,
Prince fucking your wife
but
and not
you're
your
Still
kids.
not worried about
accepted.
Michael fucking your
Nobody's
wife.
worried about
No.
Michael fucking their
Let's say
wife.
that.
But
That's, these are true too.
It's about the fact that you are accepting the fact that he was a pedophile. Because of how much information they put out smearing him.
Sure.
You accept
like
that
I said,
in
the
your
smear
brain.
worked, man.
You know what I mean? But that's not right. You know what I mean? That's not right.
But that
Nobody's done enough to prove Michael Jackson not being a piece of shit. Nobody's done enough to
what
lift
more
him up.
needs to be done? The kids came out themselves and said that it wasn't true.
I don't know. They had that Neverland documentary just a couple of years ago that everybody was making a big fuss about, where they were saying that it was true. So like the
But
smear
right,
continues.
and that happened even after that, even after the Neverland joint. Them kids came out and said it again, like, "Yo, none of that shit's."
I believe it. It's certainly believable, but like
So,
the
okay,
smear works.
Yes,
The smear has worked. You know what I'm saying? I can't sit here and like eliminate my lifetime prejudice against Michael Jackson being more likely to bang my kids than my wife. You know what I mean? As like a culturally accepted thing, like that's something that I have accepted about the two of them. That's why I said Prince won, because nobody is worried about Prince banging their kids. They might be worried about Prince banging their wife,
Well, see-
but they're not worried about their kids getting raped by Prince.
When I say when I talk, I'm just talking about the art itself and their impact on
Well,
the art.
I prefer
So,
Prince's art to Michael's art too. Like
No, that's-
Michael had some good albums, but I don't like
impact-wise, though, do you think Prince had more impact on music than Michael Jackson?
I mean, it really just
think
depends.
Prince- Hold on,
Possible.
wait a
It's not
minute,
even
hold on.
close. It's not even close.
No.
not even close.
Here's the thing I got with both of them on the impact is that Mike, his impact not only touched it touched more people,
Man.
versus where Prince was like.
Who are the two most famous male R&B singers right now?
I don't know.
Chris Brown and The Weeknd.
I forgot about Chris Breezy. I didn't know The Weeknd was like number 2.
Yeah, I have no idea.
But Chris Brown, I can see Chris Brown.
The Weeknd and Chris Brown both are very, very close. Weeknd's voice is close to Michael Jackson's.
Yes.
Chris Brown's voice is similar. He's as far as like effectiveness and efficiency, he doesn't sound like Mike, but the dancing and the entertainment.
Yeah,
Michael Jackson is a combination of those things.
And they learned off of that. They learned off of Mike.
Is the GOAT,
all the
man.
entertainers that you have in R&B and shit like that, Neo, all them cats, they all tell you they credit their shit to learning and imitating Mike. But they don't say nothing about Prince. Prince is the one they talk about where they sat down with Prince and Prince taught them about owning their masters and their shit.
The business.
Yeah, the business part of shit, whereas Mike showed them the entertainment part of it.
Same shit happened to Chris Brown. Y'all remember a couple years ago in France when there was some girl tried to say he raped her or whatever?
Yeah, and she came out and said it was all
It was all false because in his contract, his contract had just got restructured and he was getting control of his masters.
Yeah.
Like these record labels are doing this shit to people and it's wrong. It just makes people put information out there like...
There's a lot of dastardly deeds around things that people are doing to try to make money. And it's pretty unacceptable.
Trying to maintain money.
Well, they're trying to steal other people's money. They're trying to take advantage of artists. You know what I'm saying?
Hell, not only artists, I mean, fuck the American people in general.
Oh, well, we've been doing that.
They've been doing that.
You know,
it's the same money grab, just in every different industry.
Yeah,
well, it's all a bunch of grifters, man.
Like who's gonna win the finals this year?
I mean, I want the Celtics to win.
Look,
I think the smart money is on the Golden State
Yeah, we
Warriors.
talk about
But
we don't have no other bet now on
never made that.
in Boston.
Look,
I know it was Atlanta.
Well, if
No,
the
it
Heat
was
was in
Atlanta.
it, it'd be easier for me to
No,
make
it was
the bet.
Miami.
It was Miami.
I was going with Miami.
Because of Jimmy Buckets.
Yeah, Jimmy Buckets.
Jimmy fucking
But
Buckets.
Jimmy Buckets
missed
fucked
the
the last
three. They would've
bucket.
got him there. He fucking blew it, man.
And if I recall correctly, I said Miami and Boston are very, very similar, but they just don't have
Shooters.
that guy.
Yeah.
That clutch guy at the end.
I think Tatum might turn out to be that guy this year.
That's what he is, that guy, and that's why
What's the
Boston is
series
a
at
better
right
team.
now? What is it at now?
It's
Because
at
I don't,
2-2.
Right
I
now.
don't pay attention to basketball no more. So
It's at
you know.
2-2.
Like, this is my favorite kind of basketball, though, because, like, I don't really know. Like, I think that the smart money is with the Warriors. I think that it would be a whole lot cooler if Boston won.
Have you watched them play?
Yeah, I've been
Any
watching.
other games?
I've been watching.
I saw
Man.
the first game.
Boston's team defense is out of this fucking world.
Yeah, I saw the first game.
If they can keep it together and not have too many fouls and not get out of it and not lose their concentration, they've got the potential.
That's the key because like Golden State is so good.
Like when Draymond gets in their head and they spiral off, like they're not able to do it. You know what I mean?
That part too. But I'm talking about technically.
Oh yeah.
Golden State is so good that it looks like that they're running around playing playground basketball.
Yes.
But they're running through 4, 5, 6 different options and looks in 20 seconds. 4 seconds to get the ball across half court.
Right.
And then they're setting their pick or they're making the pass to Draymond and they're looking at this option, looking at this option.
Mm-hmm.
Is he showing or is he backing off? If he backs off, I'm pulling up. If he doesn't back off, I need you to slide. I need you to pull up. I need to draw him back. Like they're doing all of this shit in 24 seconds. And for Boston to be on top of that shit, bro, like the level of like...
It's really good basketball.
It's
really good
almost,
basketball.
But that's what you want in a finals.
That's all you can. That's the only way you beat Golden State.
But you want that.
But to keep that up for 48 minutes with those shooters, and bro, that's why Golden State is so hard to beat 4 times in 2 weeks. It's just they shoot the ball too well. And they're basically running just a perimeter triangle.
And they can catch you. And they can catch you and pass you in a blink of an eye. Like they caught and passed them
because of their ability to shoot
the other day. Exactly.
Because of their ability to shoot. If you look at the old 90s Bulls, see Steve Kerr, he's smart.
Yeah.
They pretty much run the same offense except for their triangle is beyond the 3-point line.
Yeah, they weren't just hitting nice twos, they're hitting nice threes.
Because they got the 3-point shooters, but what they're doing is that like a lot of times they're faking that pick on the guy who gets the ball past to him, and then it's a backdoor cut to Clay. Like little simple shit. As soon as you turn your head, I'm gone. type shit, and then you watch for that, turn your head, boom, he's open, and they're knocking down threes. They're so fucking efficient. Boston they're going to be a force to be reckoned with for a while, as long as they can stay healthy.
If they pull this off, they'll be like the next probably team that'll be in the finals a bunch for the next half a decade, if they pull it off. But if they don't, I don't think it's going to happen like that.
That's a scary statement.
They'll get rid of a bunch of people.
Because you got to look at what their road, even with Golden State, their road was a little easy, like a little, the dice roll in their favor. John Morant gets hurt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Jamal Murray wasn't there for Denver. Chris Middleton in the East, he gets hurt.
Yeah, if he was there, that series is completely different.
He's a big guy. He can shoot the ball. He's got long arms. He's a great perimeter defender. He's a great team defender. He understands team defense. Like, that's how you have to beat Boston.
But Boston also has been like on the cusp for a while.
Oh yeah, most
you know
definitely.
what I mean? And
but these guys are young.
They also seem to have the kind of like upper management that gets how to like make a team last.
Yes.
And that's not common in the NBA.
Not in today's day.
Not
in today's day.
Right.
You're right.
Nah.
So they
These
got
guys
that
are
going
working.
for
These
them.
guys are working together. I mean, and realistically, that's the beauty of it, though, because the old guys, when you look at the old teams, like,
Man, I love the 90s fucking Bulls, the fucking 80s Lakers.
but it was easier. It was easier to build a dynasty then.
Yes.
Why do you think it was?
Because there was less communication amongst the rest of the world, where like
I think
you
it was
wouldn't
the
have you wouldn't have had the guys wanting to get together.
This was
You know
about
what I'm saying?
basketball.
Well, you wouldn't have had the guys like the guys that got together in Brooklyn. You know what I mean? Like that sort of thing doesn't
Player
happen without
movement.
that sort of thing doesn't happen without the internet.
I
I don't think it happens at the level that it happens with the internet and the social media and the connection with the people at the other towns
Hey,
and
don't
shit.
none of them players got the heart no more, man. It's
well,
about the money.
No, because back in the day, they'd go to an all-star game, they'd play, and they wouldn't talk again. You know what I mean? For 6 months or whatever. Whereas,
No,
like, they
it wasn't
might
like
stay
that.
in communication now.
It wasn't like that. Like, because they were talking, and this is the reason why. See, it's more about, like, in those days, it was easier to win. I'm not saying it wasn't hard to win a championship and have a dynasty, right? But player movement was less. So, like, you knew that the Knicks were what they were.
Yeah,
They weren't going to be able
changing.
to add. You knew that they weren't changing for like the next 4 or 5
So
years.
what you had is what you had, and you build with what
And
you
you
had.
prepare, and you're able to prepare
Yeah.
for that in that
And your
sense.
team gets to know itself.
Yeah.
You get
So
that congeal.
Whereas now you can be Golden State, be down 3-1 against Oklahoma City Thunder, come back and beat them, and then Kevin Durant leaves Oklahoma City Thunder and goes to you.
Yeah.
It's hard to prepare for that year by year.
That would never happen. That'd be like if Isaiah Thomas started playing for the Bulls in like '93.
No shit.
Like that shit just
But
just
you
would
can't
never
say that
happen.
either because the contracts, they were locked into longer contracts.
Oh, it was a totally different game.
Yeah,
at that point, too.
it was way
Defense
different.
was so
way
much
different.
more
And
engaged.
those long,
And they bang.
and those
Exactly.
long
They would
contracts, but those long contracts are and players getting fucked over for those extended periods of time is the reason why they sign shorter contracts now.
Yeah.
So that
Like
is
the
a
league,
direct
the league
correlation.
hurt itself
Well,
through
it
its
changed.
actions.
I'm not gonna say hurt. It changed itself. I'm not gonna say it hurt.
I don't know, man. Fucking with the defense the way they fuck with the defense, it's like if you go to take a shot and I brush your shirt while you're on your way up and they call a foul on it, like that irks the fuck out of me.
But they don't do
You
that
know?
all the time.
I don't know. They do it a lot.
Well, see,
man.
it's
They do it a whole
just
lot.
like what they did with
if
the
you're not
NFL.
really
They changed, they softened
if
it
you're
up
not
a little
really
bit.
affecting the shot, I don't think it should be a foul. If
I
you're not,
agree there.
If you're not really
I
affecting
agree
it.
there.
And they call them all the time where it does not affect the shot at all.
Which leads to me.
Especially when they land. It don't matter how the fuck you land. What the fuck?
Well, if you
landed
jump under
fucking
somebody
wrong.
while they're coming down, that's one thing. But if you know,
I understand if you physically step underneath the dude while they're fucking
Yeah, but you
shooting
can
and shit.
pretend that you're not and still do it. And it
But
happens.
that's some cruddy shit.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
a
But
foul.
that's
well,
what
it's like
kids do.
I think Vlade Divac is the guy that really ruined the NBA.
Zaza Pachulia, no, was it the dude for Golden State did that to Kawhi Leonard when Kawhi was in San Antonio and they were busting Golden State's ass. He did that shit. to Kawhi Leonard and put him out for the rest of the fucking series.
That big flop shit?
No, like Kawhi went
stepped
up
under his foot.
Yeah, and he rolled, bro. He rolled his shit.
See, and that irks me because I just want to see the best teams play each other and win based on not an injury, not on somebody fouling out.
Yes.
Like I want. It's like back in the day when Steve Nash was driving on the Spurs and they hit him in the face. They collided faces and his nose broke all open and and
that's
like,
a foul.
Yeah, but like if that hadn't happened like that at that point, Phoenix might have won that series. They might have won the championship that year. You know what I mean? Like anything can happen. All sorts of stuff can go certain ways, and that's part of what makes it so goddamn interesting. Is that so much shit can happen on a basketball court in such a little amount of time.
Yes.
That's I think the reason why I like it so much is because I can watch it on TV. I can really get the full experience. I don't have to watch it in person.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
which leads me to my final answer of who's gonna win. Las Vegas. Fuck these motherfuckers, man. I just watched Game 4. I just watched them call two of the most bogus fucking calls on Looney that I could possibly a kid could see that wasn't a foul. I'm the defender. I beat you to the spot. Put my arm straight up, you run into me, we're close to the basket, but when I'm not inside the circle and you call a foul. And then you look at it and you say, okay, so Looney's Golden State's only big guy. Boston is dominating on the glass.
Yeah, you foul them out, you give Boston a lot better chance of winning that series.
And they're so good that every little nuance at that level, they're able to capitalize.
But see, that's again, back to that, the softening up the game. Like what they did with football, they softened up football.
You had to soften up football, dude. You had to.
Nah, it's like I mean, for safety's sake, sure. But
I mean, were people dying a lot?
People know what they're getting into.
They were just getting brain damage.
You know what you're getting into, though.
A lot of brain damage.
I played football when I was in high school for a little bit. I knew what I was getting into. I was like, you know what? I can't fucking keep doing
Boxing,
this. This
you
is
get
no
your
thing to
head
do.
rung in. You know
Absolutely.
what I mean?
Absolutely. And that's what you're signing up for.
UFC, you know you're going to get fucked up. Boxing, you know you're going to get fucked up.
But like the way you win in boxing is by getting brain damage. Like that's how you lose.
But
you give brain damage to the other person, they drop down.
Yeah, you're not going to be worth the fuck after boxing. If you think you're going to be worth the fuck after boxing match, you're either the baddest motherfucker
That's why they give you
that's why Floyd fought the way he fought.
Right, and that's why people hated him because he never got fucked up,
and he never
put himself in that position because he was too fucking talented to let it happen to himself. That's why it would be really nice if he read books on occasion, had a little more intellect, and was able to articulate himself better than just like being the dumb fuck that he is.
He ain't worried about that because he's smart with his money.
Right, he's
So
too
he can't
smart
be
in
that
one
dumb.
way.
I mean, there's different forms of intelligence. Just because someone doesn't have the ability to speak well and have that type of understanding to connect with people, I think it's foolish to be a person who has those abilities and view that person as a fool.
Well, but it's if you don't work hard to make yourself better, which Floyd does in every aspect except for his ability to communicate. So why would I not hold that against him when I'm a communicator? Like I come on here and try to communicate. I try to communicate better.
Because the smartest thing for him to do was to spend time making sure he doesn't get his brain fucked up rather than communicating with you.
Right, but he's had much.
That's how we are, selfish as Americans.
But he's had much time in his life to become better at communicating. So
how much time did he have really, though?
I mean, every day. How do you not like try to get better at everything every day?
That means you don't even understand the dedication that he's putting to his sport.
He doesn't have to worry about communicating.
No, he does. I get what he's saying.
Here's my thing.
But I'm just saying it's not a priority.
That's what I'm getting.
It's not a priority. My priority is getting better at this craft.
Right, but he's not a boxer anymore. He doesn't box anymore. And it's not like he has like done anything other than, hey, look at all my cars parked under my fucking private jet.
He has Mayweather promotions.
I mean?
He promotes boxers. He's teaching boxers how to box and not get hurt.
Which is great, which I certainly don't hold against him.
I think that's way more reputable than being able to use big words in conversation, bro.
He doesn't need big words. He needs words. He doesn't have words.
He does have words.
Here's what he does have. He has a team that he ain't to worry about the words. He has people to do shit for him. You know
but he'll do interviews and shit.
Oh yeah, he'll do interviews.
You know what I mean?
He'll Duro his way through them. You know what I mean? And like if he was more articulate, if he spent
challenge him in different ways,
what else way is there to challenge him? There's nothing else you can hold against him. He's fucking rich. He's played his cards right with his money. He never got his head fucked up.
Do you believe that
my point is there's no excuse for him to be as poorly articulated as he is. There's no excuse.
Maybe he's just not that kind of person.
But
for you, it could be like he was like if he was to talk to you, you'd be like, and there's absolutely no excuse that you can't defend yourself to a supreme level. Like, who? At the end of the day, people are people.
But they're very different things.
Like,
They're not-
all right,
they're
hold on.
different
Defending
things
yourself
because-
on a supreme level and being able to speak on a supreme level are very different things.
Take
But
Marshawn
they're the
Lynch.
same.
Marshawn Lynch. He's not very great at communicating, you know what I mean? But that motherfucker's fucking brilliant when it comes to finances and everything else. He knows how to get his shit point across, but he might not be the most articulate guy in the room. You know what I'm saying?
I've never felt like Marshawn Lynch was durowing whenever I saw him talking.
You never heard any interviews with Marshawn Lynch?
I've never.
He's the most boring person to listen to. He doesn't articulate worth a fuck.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never witnessed him being bad at communication.
Shit.
Like
Okay,
he's always got across
I think
whatever.
Floyd's bad at communication. I just think he just doesn't articulate in the way that your brain appreciates because the way your neurons are firing.
I mean, maybe. I just don't feel like he's trying to improve himself on his ability to communicate. And I feel like you've got everything else in life lined up. Why would you not try to better yourself on the one thing that you're clearly poor at? You know what I mean? And that's what he's doing.
I think he's bettering himself. I think he's bettering himself at something that's more important to him, though. Like, I think it's very, very, like,
the profession
What
of
does he need to
boxing.
better himself at?
Well,
he's
Other
better-
than his
he's
ability to
better-
articulate.
No, his legacy in the sport. He's trying to teach people how to box and not get your brain bashed in, so you can still be a human
I'm
being
sure it wouldn't
for
help
the
him.
rest of your
I'm sure
life.
it wouldn't help him teach people if he was better at communicating. Why would he want to do such a thing?
He's showing them physically.
Yeah,
It's not even about the words,
Right,
dude.
but if you can speak what you're doing, then you can also teach it to people better.
not
if
if you can't do it though.
He can
So,
do it.
okay, so
No,
do you
no,
can
no,
do
no.
it.
He
Okay.
can do it. So he can do it better than anybody else ever. And he can't tell you how to do it without
But he
just
does.
showing
He
you.
can tell you how to do it,
do
though.
like me, do like me.
No, he
do
can't.
like me. No, do like me.
No, he can't
no,
tell
do like
you
me.
how to do it. He tells other people how to do it.
He
can't tell
shows
you
other people how to do
But
it.
see,
No, he tells
And
them
if he was better at articulating himself,
Have you watched
he
him train
could
a
teach
fighter?
them better.
Because I watch his training videos.
I don't care. Because
So how can
if
you have an opinion on something that you're completely have no knowledge of?
I have an opinion on it because I know how to communicate something.
You said-
And if
you said
if
that he
I
doesn't,
know how
though.
to do no, he doesn't know how to communicate things verbally or in a way
And
that
I'm
makes him
telling you
not
that's not
sound like
true.
an idiot.
I'm telling you, to you,
Right.
to you,
Yes, I'm the person making the judgment here.
right? But I'm telling you, if
Like,
he's
because this is
But I'm
me
making
and
a
my,
judgment
but
as
this
well.
is me and myself, and you're making
It's
your
true.
judgments for you and yourself.
so. But if you watch
Right,
his YouTube videos,
since Floyd to me is such an inarticulate person that I wouldn't want to try to learn
agree.
from him, then to me, if there's anyone else out there like me that wants to learn how to do the things that Floyd's good at doing, he's doing a disservice to those people by not being articulate, by not being able to communicate. He's limiting his reach by not expanding his abilities. And to me, it's a very sad thing since he's such a capable person. If he actually tried to get better at communicating, I'm sure he would be dynamite at it. You know, if he just picked up Dr. Seuss and went from there through like Stephen King books and started trying to get better at articulating himself, I think he could. Just like my man the Jew Unit is not good at communicating, he would be better if he tried to communicate.
he's fine at communicating.
He does all right, but he doesn't have the you know what I'm saying, Mike?
It's okay. See,
He
with
doesn't,
you,
he doesn't have, no, it's just about a thing of like people being in their own head and feeling in some way, shape, or form that people have to do things the way that they do to a certain degree for you to understand them, and that's crazy.
You just
That's
have a hard
crazy.
time with
You
people
miss out on
understanding.
a lot. No, how?
like what I'm
How do you
saying.
how do you not understand what he's saying?
There's a lot of people
There's
that don't
a lot of people
understand.
that don't.
There's a lot of people that don't
If the
understand.
Jew Unit was
this,
better
man.
at communicating, then people would understand him better.
What I'm saying.
I hear.
And
you
the
like
same
to run-
thing-
you like to
and I
run
believe
that
the
by
same
me.
thing.
So the person receiving the information has nothing to do with the communication. That's fucking crazy.
How is that?
That makes no sense.
Your ability to communicate, the better you are at communicating, the better you're able to communicate.
It's a relationship, though. It's a relationship between two objects. So that receiver has to have something in their brain to say, a desire to understand the person.
That okay, I agree with that because
I mean, it's like so. So
Hold
what
on.
I'm saying is, so Floyd is using different types of intelligence to communicate the goal of what he's trying to do.
Okay, I
and
get
just
what
because
you're
he
saying.
doesn't do it in an oral way in this spectacular fashion doesn't mean that he doesn't articulate himself.
Like okay, so
It doesn't.
I worked with this guy that had a very strong Jamaican accent, and he spoke Creole, right? I was the only person that could actually have a conversation with this guy. Nobody else understood him, but I took the time to understand where he was coming from. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay,
Right.
I get what you're
and
saying.
to think because a person doesn't have an extensive vocabulary that they don't articulate themselves well, I think that that's selfish and fucked up.
Well, I think it's being selfish and fucked up to not take the time to make yourself more understood to people that don't understand you. And Floyd's not good at being understood.
So try to, by you, the people that he is training, they understand him. They are implementing what he is saying and teaching them.
So does he have
in
like a
the
video
ring.
series where he's teaching people how to box?
Just watch him training with people. Yes, he's
He'll
showing
train,
people
he does have those.
how to work on your reflexes. No, this is what you do. You turn when this happens. In the moment, like he'll use a couple of words and
Right.
show in the
All I'm
moment
saying
and
is,
combine it.
all I'm trying to
You
say
would
is
want
that
him
he
you
would
want
be
him to talk
better. All I'm saying is he would be better at doing what he's doing if he got better at talking.
How
if
do
he
you
got
know
better
that,
at
though?
communicating.
How do you know that?
How could he get worse at it if he got better at communicating?
Because you and I are sitting here saying the same thing, and we're using a whole lot of words. We're using a whole lot of words, but
How is he going to be worse at teaching people to
Because we're-
box
because we're
by
both
having
confused.
by having a better vocabulary?
Because boxing is an instinctual thing. That's why.
Yeah, you're not talking when you box.
And
I
you're
don't know,
not
man.
thinking, and you're not really thinking
Yeah.
in the typical
Well,
sense
that's like
when you're
meditative
boxing.
shit. You know what I mean? Like you're teaching people to be in a zone.
You're
And that's-
teaching neurons to fire and remember certain things in certain moments.
Right,
Those are the thoughts.
It's muscle memory practice type shit. But like the better you're able to understand things, the better you're able to understand things.
I think the
and
more
my
words
only
you use
my
and
only
train-
point with Floyd is that
You want
he's
him to talk better.
I'd like him to be able to communicate more clearly. I'd like anytime I hear him speak, I'm like, boy, it sure would be nice if he was better at that. You know. That's my only point. I'm not saying he's bad
Like
or
the
he's doing
slurs
bad
and stuff
things.
like that.
Like,
Just
okay,
like,
hold on.
no, not even slurs. Just like a
you
lack
want to be
of
able to understand Biden.
Sort of. Biden's different though, because Biden has
Why is
actual
it
brain
different?
damage and Floyd does not.
How do you know he doesn't? He's been boxing since he was 3. Like, that is a crazy statement.
All right, let me
He
rephrase
doesn't
it.
have brain
I'm
damage?
sure he has some brain damage, but Biden has way more brain damage.
You really think that Biden has more brain damage than Floyd?
When they had to like cut the top of his head off and do brain surgery on him, yeah, I'm pretty sure he's had a whole lot more trauma
I mean,
to his
Floyd-
fucking brain.
I
than
think
Floyd.
Floyd's just younger. I think Floyd's just younger.
You think
Because
when Floyd's as old as Biden, he's going to be more bumbling or less bumbling?
he's already bummed. He has mental lapses when
Whose
he
head
does
got
speak.
cut open
Yeah,
though?
boy.
Joe Biden's did.
Exactly.
Joe Biden's did.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Oh, they fucked with his
They
shit.
cut the top of his head off and put it back together.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
damn.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
like
at
that's our president.
So
Yeah,
for
yeah.
the 8, exactly. Right? That's a whole nother fucking conversation.
I did not know that.
I think
didn't know
Floyd
that.
needs to train Joe Biden.
Wait, hold on.
The two of them together is going to be a bigger problem than it's not.
God. Teach Joe Biden how to fight and
Ladies
teach
and
Floyd how
gentlemen,
to talk.
with that said, we're going to have to bring this episode of the Mason and
Gotta put
Friends show
Jill
to
in
a
the middle
close.
of that, dude.
Yeah, Jill's not going to let that stand.
Jill's not getting satisfied.
We're going to hit you with a...
A Red Star track.
oh, you want a Red Star track? We could do that.
I was
Yo,
just kidding,
I
man.
heard your joints on YouTube, bruh.
The Red Star joint?
Yes, man.
For real? You fuck
Yeah.
with it?
Man, I fucking subscribe. I think I was number 105 when I subscribed.
Which one you want to go for? What do you think?
Yeah, what's your favorite Red Star track, Mike?
Shit, I don't even know, man. I just started listening to him.
Let's go Lover's Dream. Dreams of Love.
Dreams of Love.
That shit's pretty dope.
Dreams of Love, Dreams of Love.
Yeah, because I heard on the last episode, I was like, man, let me check my mans out, young, while I'm driving the fucking truck.
No, you know what? Matter of fact, play the Range joint with Killer Priest on it. Oh, I got a feature from Killer Priest.
All right, man, yeah. Because fucking, like I said, I still got that one CD that you and Fifth made.
No, you still, what, the Four Seasons joint?
Yep,
You
I still got that shit, yep.
man. See if you can get a copy of it. Email me some tracks or something.
All right, bet. Yeah, I got to load it up.
So we got a new track called Reigns by Red Star.
With
That's-
Killer Priest.
With Killer Priest.
Because that joint is being put out as a challenge. There's a whole bunch of different versions of it. Yeah, so that joint's dope.
Okay. All right. So stay tuned for a Red Star track called Reigns featuring Killer Priest, produced by Herbs. And, remember, be nice to people that look like you, be nice to people that don't look like you, don't be a dick.
Yes, little bits by little bits, ladies and gentlemen.
And
Keep
learn that
moving
people can
forward.
communicate even if they don't use a lot of words.
Or
Damn right.
even if they disagree, they can still have a conversation and not hate each other at the end of it.
Exactly.
Because I'm a big fan of all the people in this room
See?
right now.
Awesome.
And I've disagreed with them for at least 20 minutes,
If
maybe
the
even 30
government
minutes.
could fucking do like us.
I mean,
I
for
didn't
real.
say anything.
Let's get somewhere. That's because you're bad at communicating.
No, he doesn't say anything because he doesn't even want to deal with that.
There's a lot to that. There's a lot to that. There's a lot to that.
But talking about Ninja Turtles 2 on the next one, goddamn.
All right. Turtles 2 coming up. Stay tuned for Turtles 2. Check out this Red Star track and have a great rest of your day.
Man, love y'all.
Peace be with you.
Yo.
And love.
Like you lost another one.
Sun still shines on the darkest days. You can even change your heartless ways. In all truth, you could even start the day, but you would rather stay in a darker place. Sun still shines on the darkest days. You can even change your heartless ways. In all truth, you could even start the day, but you would rather stay in a darker place. I've been hurting for so long. Feeling right just feels wrong. Demons wanna chase me so they can erase me. Clone me, replace me, silence me or sedate me. Stone me to break me, but it only wakes me up from the slumber. These thunderstorms have shaped me. I lie to myself and say the drugs heal me, but in reality I know they wanna kill me. Raindrops falling on my soul. Pain starts calling, I can't let go. Sun still shines on the darkest days, so you can even change your heartless ways. In all truth, you could even start the day, but you would rather stay in a darker place. Sun still shines on the darkest days, so you can even change your heartless ways. In all truth, you could even start the day, but you would rather stay in a darker place.
Because as strangers, we were neighbors, now we major. Hugs in nature, love and favors. Drugs for betas, what's our wager? Blood on paper, undertakers. Younger days were in the park, now it's dark. Days are gray, we fell apart. Games you play, selfish heart. With mind games, jealous start. All of my strings, angelic hearts. Pulled each one till I reach for the gun. Look what I become when meeting the sun. Because as strangers, we were neighbors, now we major. Hugs in nature, love and favors. Drugs for betas, love and favors, love and favors. To the priest.
Raindrops falling on my soul. Pain starts calling, I can't let go. Sun still shines on the darkest days, so you can even change your heartless ways. In all truth, you could even start the day, but you would rather stay in a darker place. Sun still shines on the darkest days, you can even change your heartless ways. In all truth, you could even start the day, but you would rather stay in a darker place.